welcome to Donations and Deliveries, and it's April 1st, but it's after lunch, so don't worry too much. We're going to start this month's Donations and Deliveries in the field because it's just the way things are panning out. Anyway, first acquisition for this month, I bought another Leatherman. Now, I have a Leatherman rebar that I use pretty much every single day, and it goes absolutely everywhere with me. This guy here. And I cut through some cables a while ago and blew the jaws up, so I had to replace them. But yeah, this is the second one that I've had. They replaced the other one, no questions asked. Things are getting a little bit slack in it. Very, very handy and all, but I would be crippled if I ever lost it. So I'm getting another one here, and I thought I'd get a different type. This is the Leatherman Wingman. I think it has scissors on it. So I'm going to get this out of the box and have a bit of a look. So here's a twist of irony for you. I'm going to use my old Leatherman to open my new one. Oh, this seems wrong. Anyway, I'm going to open the plastic on this. See if we can get this out. They do have a flair for this slightly dramatic. So here is a card with general instructions on how to use it. And I have a phone call. Alright, so back to the Leatherman. Oh, we've got a pouch with it too. Oh, okay, for my MS fingers, this feels horrible. It's like polyethylene weave stuff with elastic, and I've had one of these before. The elastic does not survive very long, and they're made in China. The old leather ones used to be made in Mexico, so that pouch is going to get thrown. Anyway, this guy has a belt clip anyway, which is primarily why I wanted it. Opens, and it's got a spring return on the clips and finer pointy nose. So this will actually be useful for a different range of things. It's a side locker, I think. The blades open out from there, so that is a different arrangement. But the blades come out this way, and they lock, which is nice. My old one, while the blades do lock, they open out from that end. I will still be using my rebar because it is well worn and comfortable. Side locker on that. Just a different use case for this thing. Can we get the other stuff out? I'm sure there are scissors in this. What have we got here? Yeah, some stuff opens from the inside, like the screwdrivers and stuff. That looks good. It looks like there's something big and heavy in there. So there's our scissors, they're hiding in there, and they feel quite sharp. So, and we have a collection of other bits and bobs on the inside here. The file and the thread hook, or thread knife, and all the rest. So this will be handy. Anyway, let's move on. Alright, we've got a box of deliveries that just showed up, and I've got my apprentice here to hand some stuff to me. So, apprentice, can you hand me the first thing out of the box, and we'll see what we've got. So, let's see. We've got this thing, so we have some 100mm duct. That's going to be used for redoing my fume extraction system. So, we've got a bit of that already, but we'll use that. Alright, what's next in the box, apprentice? What have we got? We have a spool of wire. I think this is going to be used for speakers. It's double insulated twin core 2mm. This will be useful for hiding speakers in the cam net at the museum shortly before the air show. Alright, what have we got? Next box, apprentice. What have we got? We have 1 meter USB type A to C. This will be interesting. I need a couple of these because I lost a couple of leads somewhere for downloading all my drones and footage. Alright, what next do we got? Wait for you to grab something. This one? What is this? I've got a short USB-C cable. That's to go in one of my field kits for the drone. Alright, what else have we got? Another one of the 100mm duct that showed up. What have we got? Yeah, grab the big bit. So we got some of this stuff, which is rigid duct, semi-rigid 100mm. This stuff sort of concertinas out, and it's fairly solid in that state. That's going to be used for my air inlet. Oh, we have a supposedly good quality micro USB cable. That'll be handy because we have a tablet in the house that my apprentice has knackered, and only certain leads charge it. What else have we got in the box? Give us the next bit. We've got a vent. This is going to be the inlet vent for my window. I had previously laser cut a system for this, but I figured since Bunnings had these on the shelf after like 3 years, I'd get some. What else have we got? Oh yeah, we have a gravity vent. This is going to be for the outlet, so when the fans turn on it can flip up and let the air out, and when the wind blows it doesn't blow it back in.
Is that a fruit packet?
And this is, no, that's an empty packet. What else have we got? We bought a couple of fire blankets. One of these I'm going to use to teach my apprentice how to use. What else have we got in here? Oh, there's a second fire blanket. That one's to actually put in the kitchen. We have some iron oxide buffing compound, some Josco stuff. It's hard to tell who makes it. But I've been looking for some of this for years since my local hardware shop closed down and stopped stocking it. So Bunnings now stock that magic stuff. We have some more spray silicone. This stuff's magic. I use it for everything. Alright, what else have we got in the box? We've got, we have some zip discs. So some cut off wheels. They will be handy. So, it looks like the apprentice has already opened some of them. These are the ultra thin grinding discs. Just handy all around for useful stuff. Especially if you have a mechanical failure in the field and you need to like cut a suspension spring off or something silly.
Nothing more in the box.
That's all that's in the box, is it? Alright, so we'll see what shows up next. But yeah, this is some interesting stuff. And naturally I've got some projects to get up to as well with all of this. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Okay, this next delivery is in the field in the back of the messy ambulance. We have received a bunch of these aluminium strips with diffusers for putting LEDs in. And we have a bunch of LEDs. These have been subsidized somewhat by my local J-Car store, which I will I'll put a link in the description to these guys. They've done a good deal because these are going to the Armed Forces Museum. We have some glue filled heat shrink, that's for a project I'm working on, and some electrical clean and lube. Also subsidized for us was a 100 meters of cable here. So this is good stuff. This is 3mm figure 8 with double insulation. So this will be used for running those LED lights. So that'll be good. But yes, a nice little subsidized discount for the museum. So we're happy with that. And that's because we've got the air show coming up. We've got to get more lights in cabinets. Anyway, let's move on and continue with donations and deliveries. Alright, some more deliveries have arrived and it is April, so I'm adding to my pin collection here with a couple more here. We have basically the 15th anniversary of the end of World War II. That's a 2021. And lest we forget, this one's commemorating animals in service by the looks. Anyway, these are two that I didn't have in my collection. I'm going to grab that briefly. Alright, this is a bag I've had for many years. In fact, it's one of 3. I've basically transferred badges over. There are badges up the band. I have sections with the old strap that broke that are hiding away in here that have dozens more on it. I filled an entire strap. But yeah, this is badges of most of my travels, but primarily military related ones. There is a video where I go over the significance of all of these, but yeah, I'll be adding those two to this bag. Anyway, let's see what else we had show up. We had a new mouse. Now, I have been using this Logitech mouse for a long time. It's an M90. I've got a box of these that I got for about $6 a piece. The problem is it is wired, and as it gets old, the cable gets quite stiff. And I'm actually recording a video here, and I just messed that up a little bit. I am releasing 18,880 eggs at the spawn of a Minecraft base that my mate runs. That's Operation Easter Egg. So whenever you launch into spawn, you're going to get your inventory filled up with eggs. Anyway, this is a Hardly Normal Harry Norman special that I'm going to try out. It's a similar size, and it's hard to find a mouse that's a similar size, similar shape, and hopefully that, wow, yeah, see, same problem here. I'm trying to keep my camera centered in that recording, and every time I let go of the mouse, it moves around. Hopefully this will solve that, and but it has a fairly decent track wheel on here, and or scroll wheel. Hopefully that is a fairly positive haptic feedback, otherwise I'm going to have to add some weight. I'm going to cast some weights in here to make it a bit heavier. Because of my multiple sclerosis, I do have dexterity problems, and using a mouse is quite frustrating, especially these ones with the big wings on the side and the side buttons. They all get in my way. In order to get fine control, I have to put my fingers, let's move our camera here, I have to put my fingers on the side of a mouse and roll my fingers like that. So I move very much like this. And so I pull fingers in and out, I roll left and right for fine controls. So yeah, most of the modern mice with this whole smooth, quiet and no haptic feedback are actually a real problem for me. So I'm going to see how I go here. And 18 months battery life, I don't think that's going to be the case for me. I'm going to get this open, have a quick look, and then we'll move on to the next delivery. Well, that's a nice surprise. The dongle hides in the back, but they also give you an Eveready battery. No, it's Duracell, sorry. Duracell OEM batteries. Alright, not for retail sale. I don't know what they do different with them. But anyway. Yeah, well, well, it's durable, but not very grippy. I'm sure that will change over time with a bit of hand oil. But scroll wheel has got some haptic feedback. It's still a bit slippery. Again, that'll change over time. But nice clicking buttons. I can double click with it the way I like to do, because double clicking sometimes is a problem for me. So anyway, this could be good. We'll see how it goes. Alright, another delivery has arrived, and I have a bunch of seat parts for either this thing or that thing over there. I'm not sure which, but yeah, we've got a bunch of different bits and pieces. I think that's a pretty good seat base. That will be good for the 4x4. That's pretty much a new seat back. There's enough here for me to get the knackered seats in the 4x4 sorted. And we have another one nearly new to replace that one. So, and the brand spanking new one we have in the middle, we're going to put in the driver's position. So this will be good. Nice bits and pieces. Alright, so we're in the field for this delivery, and I'm going to make it quick. I have a Ryobi soldering station. Let's go zoom out a bit. So I could have bought the actual station type one of these, but the Australian one apparently doesn't come with the inbuilt mains adapter. So it's just battery only. It's not like the hybrid ones that the Yanks have got. So it really wasn't worth the additional $100 for it. But these are apparently a fairly nice iron, and actually they do feel kind of nice to use. I'll tell you when it works. This only got one tip, I think. I don't see any other soldering tips in here. No, there is a chisel tip. Okay, cool. That answers my question, and a little bit of solder, but I've got loads of that. This is going to get pressed into service immediately. I need it today for some work at the museum, so we'll get cracking with that. And I got some steel wool because sponges are for chumps. Alright, so let's get going. Alright, we're in the field again for this delivery. I've had a little innocuous male-to-male RCA, a cheap USB hub, and a ground loop isolator. It's going to go into the museum because I've got some ground loop problems. Anyway, let's move on. Alright, so March continues, and we've got a couple of parcels that have arrived. Let's see what we've got in here. If I can do this without some sort of a sharp implement, because I don't have one on me. I am on my desk, we're going to have a crack at doing this normally for a change. Alright, we have remote control power points. Now I might be using them to control this bit soon, but I wanted to know if this had an all on and an all off function, and it does. That's very handy. So we're going to work on that. My apprentice is providing some sound effects in the background. Alright, now not sure that I was going to get this to happen in time. I ordered 2 of these. This is probably the second one in this box. Now some of these are going to go down to the museum that I work for to help control some of the displays. This unfortunately has been fairly well set up. Where are we? Or taped up. Alright, it is the time of day in this house that we call the noisy time. So you will hear evidence of that in the background, no doubt. This microphone is considerably more sensitive than sometimes would be useful. Let's get this open. Alright, okay, this one has 2 remotes. That would be handy. And we've only got individual points on that. But it did come with 5 points. So that's interesting. So, which one do I use for this and which one do I use for that? So what I was hoping to do was to have a push on and a push off, and then a reset button to turn them all off on that. But given the 2 of these, it's going to be an interesting decision to make. And anyway, I'm probably going to do that in a different video. But yeah, we have a bunch of these now. Anyway, let's continue on. Alright, well, this is a delivery that I have actually been alluding to for quite some time. I'm actually kind of shocked to see this. Now, the observant among you might notice that this has come via Russian post. This is something I ordered, and apparently you won't get it in if it's over 420 US dollars. Anyway, this is something I ordered not long, about a week or 2 before the invasion of Ukraine started, so I'm actually very shocked to see this. I thought I had lost my money. Now, I make no political statement regarding all of that. I'm just not even going to discuss it because it's just don't. I don't take sides. I don't have an opinion. Don't want to know. However, the company there that is that also doesn't endorse any political opinion. I have been waiting to get one of these things for ages. And for a number of different reasons. And I thought, you know, I should probably get on to ordering one of these things. When I was watching all that build up and all that political stuff start to happen, so I thought, you know what, now or never, because I probably won't get one now. I'm glad I did when I did. Anyway, let's get into this. Well, they sure as hell didn't want somebody tampering with the package or it getting damaged. But to be honest, the company that, I think it's Radioscan, that's the company that makes these, they've been very actually vocal on the email and have talked to me a lot, kept me in the loop. I'm actually kind of impressed with their service. Anyway, let's, wow. Right, so I can't remember how much I paid for this, but it's a radio card 101. This is their compact version. This is supposed to do a whole bunch of fancy stuff like gamma spectrometry almost, or spectroscopy, whichever you want to call it. I'm not sure how they'd achieve it in something like this, but I believe this is a scintillation based counter. But I'm going to see, and I'll run it through a few tests, and we'll see if we can actually determine the, wow, I'm actually excited to see this. Wow, it's heavy though. But apparently this will do GPS and Bluetooth and all sorts of other stuff. It's rechargeable. This here is pretty much similar to what I built, but better. Let me grab what I built. Now this is my own version of something very similar, driven on a Raspberry Pi Zero W, and it has this little pop-up screen which doesn't always pop up properly, and batteries and Geiger counter and everything in here, although that is a Russian SBM20 tube. Apparently this thing's supposed to be much faster and sensitive to alpha particles, so that will be handy. with a lot of different things, but I'm going to have to do a bit of learning and a bit of thinking about how this might go together. And looks like it's a USB-C. Oh, snazzy. That's handy. I'm liking how things are moving to USB-C after I've bought like 3 million micro USB leads. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to have a play with this and see what it does. But first we're going to see if it fires up since we're here. All right, that's nifty. Actually, I have a bit of uranium glass in here, which might not get through the plastic, but it's registering something. Give me a moment while I just get a test source. All right, here is my Geiger counter kit. I have several counters, some that I've made. I have a Radex one as well, which is a bit noisier, but this won't be as vocal as that one. Let's take some thorium, electrodes, welding electrodes. So that's certainly going off its tree about this. So we're looking, it reckons it's about half a microsievert. Let's see what this one does. We put it next to the tube, which is, oh, where's the tube here? That side. Okay, let's shut this guy up for a minute. I don't know how to turn it off. Well, this one's about half a microsievert, so it's calibrated fairly closely to the other ones. That one turns off fairly easy. This one's got thorium in it as well. These are these like, yeah, ionizing pendants. And this will probably get it through the plastic. Yeah, it's certainly a lot quicker to pick up counts. So yeah, so it's interesting. It does certainly work. It detects radiation, so yeah, ionizing radiation. Actually, let's try an alpha source. This is americium out of a smoke alarm. Wow. Right, that upset it. Wow. Whoa. All right. It doesn't like me at all. Wow. So I'll let that cool off for a little bit. That had a big dose of alpha particles from that. So that tells me, oh, how do I shut this up? Give me a moment. So I don't actually know how to turn this off. I'm going to have to read the manual. So what we're going to do here, we're going to move this guy out of the way a bit. And this is mostly alpha particles, so we're going to put this near it and see what happens. So see, nowhere near the same kind of reaction. This is really only picking up beta and gamma particles off it, so mostly beta. It's detecting about 0.8 of a microsievert. Because this uses a variant of the SBM20 tube, it's using one with the solder-on electrodes. This can detect alpha particles, which are only short range, but it's going to go off its tits right about here. So it doesn't like me at all. So yeah, definitely sensitive to alpha particles. So far it looks like what was on the box. Oh, shut up. Anyway, looks like what's on the box is correct. So we'll do a whole video on this some other time. Let's move on to our deliveries. Okay, so I thought I'd add to this a little bit. I've been reading through the manual and discovered it has PC software. And it's a firmware update. And I can look at all this raw data and everything off it. This is awesome. And I can log it all, I can save it, I can transfer the data. They really went all out on this. This is perfect. And it gives me the recommendations as to what the elements likely are given that killer electron volt. This is just background radiation here, which is, yeah, basically X-rays. So yeah, magic. Absolute magic. I'm definitely going to use this for stuff. Well, that does it for deliveries and donations for the month of April. It's going to be whatever the next month is. May, I believe, coming up soon. It is May. I have lost track of time. Anyway, deliveries have been slow this month, so I spent a bit of time playing with my new Radioscan 101. That's going to be very, very handy. And actually, as a matter of interest, I did a spectrograph on, or spectrogram, whatever you want to call it, on some quantum pendants I've got, and actually had an interesting outcome. I'll whack that in off to the corner here for a couple of seconds so you can pause the video and scrutinize that. Anyway, we're going to move on and call this a video. So hope you had fun. See you in the next one.